Hey everyone, Lucamus Prime here, so it's time for another discussion video today. Today we're going to do a discussion about this person right here who's next to me in this picture. So for those you don't know, today is the 89th birthday of John Williams. And also for those you don't know, John Williams is my all-time favourite music composer ever. And I thought to celebrate his birthday, I would do a discussion video talking about my favourite soundtracks he's composed. So, now he's done so many amazing soundtracks. It's like his music has defined so many film genres. He really has so many of them. So you probably guess what my favourite soundtrack is by him, and it's undoubtedly the Star Wars soundtrack. He's composed so many beautiful pieces of music. For example, my all-time favourite piece of music he's composed for Star Wars is definitely Battle of the Heroes from Revenge of the Sith. It's like one of the most breathtaking, action-packed, suspenseful music tracks I've ever heard, and it's brilliant. I listen to it nearly every day. It's amazing. And I also love Duel of Fates as well, another amazing fights music. It's brilliant. He also composed my favourite villain song, which is the Imperial March, an amazing track, really beautiful. And another example of a beautiful track is definitely the Force theme in general, really amazing. And of course, the Anakin and Padme love theme as well is brilliant, Across the Stars. A really beautiful track, really amazing. Probably the best track in Attack of the Clones in my opinion. Like, the theme of the movie is that music, pretty much. And I will be honest guys, even though I do hate the Star Wars sequel trilogy with a passion, I will admit that his music was one of the very few best things about the sequel trilogy, in my personal opinion. I think he introduced really nice new tracks. For example, I did like Rey's theme by John Williams because it was very well composed and it sounded so innocent and sweet. It was brilliant. And it fitted her character really well, at the start of Force Awakens where she's a scavenger. It really fitted so well. And I liked Kylo Ren's theme as well. I liked how it was a big departure from the other villain themes he composed. It was pretty good, very well composed by Mr. Williams. So yeah, so after as well as Star Wars, another soundtrack I've got to definitely mention is the Indiana Jones soundtrack. My favourite piece by him is definitely the Indiana Jones main theme. It's incredible, a really amazing adventurous theme. Like, when I listen to it, it makes me want to go on an adventure, really does. It's amazing. And there's other brilliant soundtracks too as well. For example, in Temple of Doom, my favourite piece of music is actually from my favourite scene in a movie, which is the parade of the slave children were being freed. Like, that was a brilliantly well-composed theme. And, like, it was amazing how Indy emerged from the smoke map theme was playing in the background. Oh, wow. It was brilliant. And then, as well as Star Wars and Indiana Jones, I also love John Williams' theme for Superman. Which he did for the 1978 Superman movie starring Christopher Reeve, may he rest in peace. And as well, guys, I consider John Williams to be the true composer of Superman 2, not Ken Thorne. Because in my humble opinion, guys, Richard Donner cut of Superman 2 is the true version of Superman 2 we should have got in the cinemas back in 1980. The real version of it. It's like the equivalent to a Snyder cut, really, pretty much. And yeah, but John Williams' music is amazing for Superman. It's like probably my favourite superhero theme of all time. The Superman theme by John Williams. It was brilliant. Like, it starts off the whole superhero genre, that movie did. As well as that, I also do love his soundtrack for the first two Home Alone movies as well. Like, he composed really amazing tracks for that. Like, I've got to give it to the main Home Alone theme, of course, which was brilliant. Even though, to be honest, guys, I do prefer the opening theme in Home Alone 2 over the opening theme from the first Home Alone movie. I just liked it more, really. I just think it's beautiful. I think John Williams is a genius. And another thing I do also love in the Home Alone first two films is the theme it plays when Kevin sets up the traps. Like, it's one of the most exciting tracks I've ever heard. Brilliant. And I like how, despite it being pretty much the same theme, he composed it differently in the second film compared to the first one. For example, he had a longer intro, and he used different instruments as well. Like, I think he used a different, drumming kind of thing, really. And he also, cut a few bits out of it to make it more epic, and added a few bits in to make it more epic, and it worked perfectly. And I'm so disappointed to this day that he did not compose for the 3 sequels after Home Alone 2. I'm very disappointed that they didn't get John Williams back to do the music. Like, I feel like those movies were missing something because there was no John Williams in them. So as well as Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Superman and Home Alone, I also really love John Williams' soundtrack for the first 3 Harry Potter movies. Like, for example, I really love Hedwig's theme, and what I'm glad about is that unlike the Home Alone movies, I'm glad that the main theme by John Williams remained in all the Harry Potter movies, despite it not being composed by John Williams, which I was happy about. Because while Home Alone 3 did include a bit of the main theme in the opening sequence, it didn't include any other by John Williams, and now did Home Alone 4 or 5. But luckily the Harry Potter movies all included the main theme, even in the movies with music not composed by John Williams. So yeah, Hedwig's theme is beautiful, really is. It's a great theme song, I listen to it quite a lot. And I think we can definitely give it one of the saddest pieces of music by John Williams is definitely Leaving Hogwarts, that plays at the end of both the first and second Harry Potter movies. Pretty sad, really. Now, with regards to Chamber of Secrets, one thing I did notice was that a lot of the music was exactly the same as Philosopher's Stone. The reason why is because John Williams was also busy working on Attack of the Clones in the same year, composing for that. So that's why he was so busy. That's why there was not much, new music added in, which is understandable because he was so busy. But then Prisoner of Azkaban, however, which was John's final film composing for Harry Potter, he included lots of new music. I mean, he still included Hedwig's theme and also, a bit of it at the end when Harry Potter's flying on his new broomstick. But as well as that, he did include lots of brand new music, which was pretty good, actually, brilliantly composed. Like, very breathtaking. I'm a bit disappointed that he didn't return for Goblet of Fire onward, really, but I do appreciate the following movies for including the main theme. And I'm pretty sure as well that Deathly Hallows Part 2 did include more than just Hedwig's theme by John Williams in the soundtrack, which I was happy about. And so did Half-Blood Prince too. Half-Blood Prince included it when the characters go into Hogwarts on the train, which I was happy about. Now as well as the movies I mentioned, I do also love his music for the first 2 Jurassic Park movies. Like, I will be honest, my favourite piece of music by him from Jurassic Park is definitely Welcome to Jurassic Park from the first film. Like, that scene where Dr. Grant and Dr. Sadler see that dinosaur and that music plays, it defined just who John Williams is, really. Like, because when I saw the movie on Netflix, it got me pretty emotional, really. It was so emotional to see. It was brilliant. And I can imagine how audiences reacted when they saw the movie back in 1993 when it was in the cinemas. I bet they were all probably cheering, weren't they, maybe? But yeah, it was beautiful, that piece of music. And the music playing when they're flying into the island as well was also brilliant. Like, it's amazing. And it's a lot of people's childhood as well, really, so I can understand why they love it. Whereas for me, I've only seen bits of movies when I was a kid. And I did love them back, those scenes I saw when I was a kid, and I don't remember them. But luckily now I've rewatched the entire series on Netflix pretty much and watched some of them first time. I do really love the Jurassic Park franchise, and I can't wait for Dominion. And speaking of, John Williams' music, one thing I do appreciate is that in the sequels to Jurassic Park, the Lost World Jurassic Park, I like how the composers stayed true to John Williams' music by including the main theme. I mean, with regards to Jurassic Park 3's soundtrack, it's hard to tell that it's not by John Williams, because they include so many familiar pieces of music. Don Davis did that, the composer for the Matrix trilogy, which is pretty cool, guys. Never thought he'd do such a great job, replicating John Williams' soundtrack in Jurassic Park 3. And then, of course, Michael Giacchino, of course, did the music in Jurassic World and Fallen Kingdom. I believe he will be doing it in Dominion as well. And this isn't the first time that he replicated John Williams' soundtrack, because after he did Jurassic World, he then did Rogue One. So Rogue One isn't the first time he's copied John Williams' music and put it in there, because he did it, for Rogue One after Jurassic World. And then he also, I believe, did it for the Star Wars Adventures Continue ride. He composed new music in the style of Williams' soundtrack, which was brilliant. Then another classic that I do love music for by John Williams is definitely E.T. the Extraterrestrial from 1982. Because I saw the movie, I think, when I was about 10 years old, and I've been rewatching it ever since, because it's an amazing movie, E.T. Brilliant. And John Williams' music, when E.T. and Elliot are flying on the bike in the moon, like, I can just describe that as, magical. Like, I love the music in It was brilliant. Like, John Williams is a genius, I swear to God, he's amazing. But yeah, E.T. is one of my childhood favourites, guys, and it still is to this day. I still watch it to this day, it's a great movie. And yeah, John Williams was easily one of the best parts of that movie, which I give 10 out of 10 to. It's like a masterpiece. And one of the reasons why, because of his amazing soundtrack that he did. Oh yeah, another example of a great soundtrack is definitely the Jaws theme. Like, you know, dun 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 dun. You know, scary and brilliant. Like, as soon as you hear that music, you know something bad's going to happen because you're about to get eaten by a shark, aren't you? Yeah. So guys, this was me discussing my all-time favourite soundtracks by John Williams, my favourite composer. And yeah, I wish him a very happy 89th birthday, and I hope he has the best day ever because he deserves it. And yeah, I can't wait to hear his soundtrack in the 5th Indiana Jones movie because he is confirmed to be composing for that. But unfortunately, guys, he's retired from composing for Star Wars movies, but he will be composing for Indiana Jones 5, just so you know. So yeah, happy birthday, John. Hope you have the best day ever. So guys, this was me discussing my favourite John Williams soundtrack. So yeah, you know the drill, guys. Be sure to give this video a like. Also, be sure to leave my comments what your favourite soundtrack is by John Williams as well, and what you think of him as a composer. Also, be sure to join Team Prime by pressing subscribe for more videos coming in the future, and I'll see you all later.